atria and 2A. So do we have ventricles only in the heart? Do we have ventricles somewhere else in the body also?
Somewhere else.
Where do we have? Brain. So very good. What are the ventricles in the brain called?
Third ventricle.
What are the ventricles in the brain called? Anyone? So everyone knows that ventricles in the heart, it is like right ventricle, left ventricle. It is very easy. But what are the ventricles in the brain?
Lateral, third and fourth.
Very good. So how many lateral ventricles do we have?
Two.
So 2 lateral ventricles, and then 1 third ventricle, and then 4 ventricle. But what is the use of the ventricles in the brain?
CSF.
For the flow of
CSF.
cerebrospinal fluid, right? But what is the use of the ventricles within the heart?
Pumping of the
That is for the flow of the arterial blood and as well as for the flow of the venous blood. So that is the use of the ventricles within the heart. Okay. So just a basic idea, right? Many of you might be knowing the basics, what I will be teaching now, but just to brush up your knowledge, right? I'll just give you a basic idea, and the same structures, let me try to demonstrate on the heart as well. Okay?
Yes.
Right. So all of you, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Only 2-3 people. All of you, are you ready or not? Yes, sir. No, maza nahi hai. All of you are ready or not? Yes, sir. Very good. So, yes, anyone want to demonstrate? Anyone want to do the live demonstration? They can come here. Some of you are telling, sir. Huh? Yes, you want to do? Huh? Okay. Yes, come in. Right. So, from the location of the heart, that is within the medial canal. But if you take the surface markings, so it is exactly present behind the sternum. It is exactly present behind the sternum. So, this is your sternum. Right. So, this will be the sternum, and the brown color one, like what you have, is the heart. So, exactly posterior to the sternum, you have the presence of the heart. And where is this particular heart located on? No, located on the diaphragm. So, the relations of the heart is anteriorly you have the sternum, and inferiorly what do you have?
Diaphragm.
The diaphragm. So, it will rest on the diaphragm. So, you have this is your diaphragm. We have right and as well as the left lobe of the diaphragm. And on either side of the heart, what do you have? So you have lungs. So anterior relation to the heart is sternum. Inferior relation is diaphragm. Lateral relations are the lungs. And so this is the basic relations of the pericardium, myocardium in between, and endocardium, that is the innermost layer. Endocardium is innermost layer, myocardium is the middle layer, and pericardium is the outermost layer. And what are the layers within the pericardium again? So we have parietal pericardium and visceral pericardium. So what is that space between the parietal and visceral pericardium called? That is called pericardial space. So what is there in the pericardial space? So within the pericardial space, you have the presence of the pericardial fluid. What is the normal quantity of the pericardial fluid?
10 to 15.
50 ml. Very good. So the normal quantity of the pericardial fluid is around 50 ml. What is the use of the pericardial fluid? So it will reduce the friction between the parietal and visceral pericardium. That is one function. Second, it acts as a shock absorber to the external injuries. So as like what we have the pericardial fluid, we also have the pleural fluid, where that is in the pleural space. That is in between parietal pleura and as well as the visceral pleura. Okay. So that is about your layers of the heart. And within these layers, you have 2 atria and as well as 2 ventricles. So now, apart from atria, the next important thing like what we have is the valves. There is 4 valves: mitral valve, tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve, and as well as aortic valve. So these are the basic structures which I will be showing you and demonstrating you within the heart now. So I demonstrate all these layers. Pericardium is the outermost layer, middle is the myocardium, innermost is the endocardium, right? And 2 atria and 2 ventricles. That is right atria, left atria, right ventricle and left ventricle. And what is the valve between left atria and left ventricle? Bicuspid valve is also called mitral valve. The chamber, the valve which is present between left atrium and left ventricle is mitral valve. And what is the valve between the left ventricle and aorta? That is your aortic valve. Right? So, let's just give you a brush up of the knowledge of these particular valves as well. And followed by that, okay, what is the basic function of the heart? The basic function of the heart is to pump the blood to various parts of our body, and it will give the nutrition to various organs of our body. Next, and yes. Now, in the pericardium, what is that we have discussed? What are the two layers in the pericardium? Parental pericardium and visible pericardium. So, in between parental and visible pericardium, what do you have? There is pericardial fluid. Right? You have the pericardial fluid. So, yes. So, this is that. Okay. So, this is the pericardial cavity where you have the presence of the pericardial fluid. And this is your parietal pericardium, and this will be your visible pericardium. Okay, so that is about your pericardium. And very important structure is the endocardium. Now, what is the function of the endocardium, or like what will be there within the endocardium is, on the endocardium is innermost layer. What is the outermost layer? That is pericardium. Innermost layer will be endocardium. And within the endocardium, you have the presence of the valves. Mitral valve, tricuspid valve, aortic valve, and as well as the pulmonary valve. So these are the valves which are placed within the endocardium. Right? So the function of the what does this endocardium do? It will give the seat for the valves. Right? It will ensure that the valves are being located in that particular endocardium. So that is the role of the endocardium. And not only that, within the endocardium, even you have the presence of the conducting system of the heart. So what is the conducting system? So what are the conducting system of the heart? What are the components of the conducting system of the heart? So we have SA node and AV node. So what is the connection between the SA node and AV node?
Internodal.
We have internodal fibers. Between the SA node and AV node, you have internodal fibers. Where is the SA node? In which chamber do you have SA node? The SA node is present in the right atrium. And AV node?
Internodal.
So AV node, it is present at the junction between the right atrium and as well as the interventricular septum. So in between the SA node and AV node, what do you have? Internodal fibers. How many internodal fibers will be there? So 3 internodal fibers will be there. That is anterior, middle, and posterior internodal fibers. Okay. Next. Then, now after the AV node, what is the next in the conducting system of the heart? That is bundle office. And from the bundle office, what do you have? Right and as well as left bundle branches. So this will be your conducting system of the heart. So where is your in which layer the conducting system of the heart is located? That is in the endocardium. That is the endocardium. Okay? Right. And the next layer what you have is the myocardium. So if you take the myocardium, among all the 3 layers, what are the 3 layers? Pericardium, myocardium, and endocardium. Among all these 3 layers, the thickest layer is your myocardium. The thickest layer will be the myocardium. Okay. So above the myocardium is your pericardium, and below the myocardium is your endocardium. Okay. And so this is the middle layer, and this is the thickest layer. And here you have the presence of the muscle fibers. Right? So these are the 3 layers. Now tell me about the importance of the pericardium. What is there in the pericardium? Pericardial fluid. Pericardial fluid. What is there within the endocardium? Valves and conducting system of the heart. Right? Within the myocardium, you have the thick muscle fibers. You have the thick muscle fibers. So I will demonstrate all these 3 layers now. I will demonstrate pericardium, myocardium, and as well as endocardium for you within the heart. Okay? Then, followed by that, yes. So these are the chambers. So this is your right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and as well as the left ventricle. Now, let me try and discuss about the individual chambers. So if you take the upper chambers, like what is the upper chambers? Right atrium, and as well as the left atrium. These are the 2 upper chambers. Now, out of which you take the right atrium. So what is the function of the right atrium and what are the structures which will open into the right atrium? Upper half of the body. Inferior vena cava from the lower half of the body, and that will enter into right atrium. And from the right atrium, the blood enters into right ventricle through which particular valve? So yes, so this will be the tricuspid valve. This will be your tricuspid valve. Then followed by that, you have the left atrium. So if you take the left atrium, what is the role of left atrium? Left atrium receives oxygenated or deoxygenated? Oxygenated. Via pulmonary artery or pulmonary vein?
Vein.
Pulmonary vein. So pulmonary veins open into your left atrium. How many pulmonary veins do they open? We have totally 4 pulmonary veins which opens into the left atrium. And left atrium will receive the oxygenated blood from through the pulmonary veins, and the blood from left atrium enters into left ventricle. Through which particular valve? That is the mitral valve. Through the mitral valve. Is that clear? Right. So that is about the upper chambers. Then followed by that, you take the lower chambers. What are the lower chambers? Lower chambers are the ventricles. Right? So what ventricles? That is your right ventricle and as well as the left ventricle. So now the right ventricle, what it does, it receives the deoxygenated blood from the right atrium, and left ventricle, it receives the oxygenated blood from the left atrium, right? And what is the valve between right atrium and right ventricle called? Tricuspid valve, right? And what is the valve between left atrium and left ventricle? Mitral valve. Mitral valve is also called bicuspid valve. Bicuspid, that means how many cusps are there? 2 cusps. What are those cusps? Anterior and posterior cusp. So you have an anterior cusp and you have a posterior cusp. Okay, that is in mitral valve or bicuspid valve. Then you have a tricuspid valve. So what is the, how many cusps are there in tricuspid valve? 3. What are those 3? Anterior, posterior, and what is that? Septal. Septal, the one which is attached to the septum. Okay, that is attached to the septum. So the anterior, posterior, and as well as we have the septal valve. Okay, right. So that is about the ventricles, right? And what is the function of the valves? What is the function of the valves? The function of the valves is that they will ensure that the blood will move in the forward direction. Right? There will not be any reversal of the flow. There will not be any reversal of the flow. That is the function of the valves. That is the function of the valves. Now, I'll ask you one question. You have aortic valve, pulmonary valve, mitral valve, tricuspid valve. All the valves have 3 cusps except that is your mitral valve. Okay. You take semilunar valves. What are semilunar valves? Pulmonary valve and aortic valve. So even your pulmonary valve and aortic valve, they also have 3 cusps. They also have 3 cusps. And even tricuspid valve, it has 3 cusps. But mitral valve, it has only 2 cusps. Okay? Right. Then, followed by that, yes. So this is your tricuspid valve. What is the role of tricuspid valve?